So, anything in particular that you liked about the book, or did it bring you back any memories that maybe you had forgotten?
Yeah, it was a great book, and I had forgotten most of it, Steve. We go on, excuse me, we go on in life, and we live our lives with kids and wives, and time goes on, and the way you wrote the book was just, and going down the details of the game. I mean, for us guys, it was just so wonderful to relive it. And I heard from my brother, I heard from other people, Bill Clancy, by the way,
Oh yeah,
people that read the
yeah,
book and they're like, that I couldn't put it down. It was incredible. I remember, because you mentioned guys like Bruce Johnson and the
yeah,
YBA. My brother Kenny was like, I knew Bruce really good, and Dickie Myers was like my best friend. We used to play at the YBA.
yeah,
Everybody had a memory in
yeah.
there,
Right, right.
treasured memory that came to life again. Is
Yep.
what it was, and it was really good. For us, it was special. Just each and every game breakdown. It just brought back memories. I totally forgot most of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's true for a lot of people. And obviously I had a lot of help uh, researching to remember some of those details, but it kind of came together pretty well.
You need to
But
make a movie out of it. Just put
yeah,
Brad
well,
Pitt. Make Brad Pitt my.
we'll we'll see. We'll see. We got to find somebody to play Nova. That might be a tough one though.
Yeah, well, if they made one like Rudy, this could be a typical basketball thing done right.
Yeah,
Anyway,
somewhere between Rudy and Hoosiers.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's right. That's right.
But anyway, I just, I should ask before we go. We were really lucky that we got to play, uh, every day when we were young, and we achieved some success. But then, years later, your two boys go into like real battle, serving their
Yeah.
country, and obviously ultimately pay the ultimate price. So, I mean, it was so hard to learn all about that, and obviously tragic for you. And it kind of makes basketball seem trivial, when you think about that. But you had to be really proud of your boys just serving their country,
Oh
right?
yeah. We're people of faith. My wife and I are devout Christians, and I raised my boys that way. So that gives us hope that we'll see them in the afterlife. It does, and
Yeah,
I'm okay with that. It's been a long haul. I mean, we remember them every day, but uh, they reach the NBA of their profession. A special forces, a Green Beret, and a MARSOC Marine. That's the top. Okay,
right,
that's you
right.
got the SEALs, you got the Air Force PJs, Green Berets, and MARSOC, and they were right there, man. They're the one percenters, and each six tours. So I'm very proud of them, and you know they they paid the sacrifice. They sacrificed. They did what they had to do. You know, and they were
Yeah,
tough. They were tough. They were tough like we were tough.
they were Goskies,
They were
absolutely.
Goskies, and
Yeah,
you were tough too. I mean, it's
yeah. But we, like I said, it almost seems like a luxury to just sit back and think about basketball. That's just a
sure.
fun
But
game.
you know what? It
It's
was
fun.
also a very nice memory, during a strenuous time.
Yeah,
Wonderful book, so my boys are fine. They're in the hands of the Lord. I'm
yeah. Amen.
confident of that. And so to go back and do that memory of that, remember all that was just wonderful. It was the way you did it was great, the whole book. And I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did.
All
And I'm
right.
glad you included all the guys from Gumbert and all these names that came up
Yeah.
that people forgot that you and I remember because we were down there more than anybody. You and me were down there more than anybody,
Hmm.
and I was down there more than you.
Oh, I know you were. I know you were.
Yeah, to
you
see
were the
all
reason
those
you were the
guys.
reason I started going. I
I
knew.
mean,
Yeah,
Tim Kish from Colonia. I remember them guys, man. They were just lunatics. The Flaherty boys and
yeah,
the
yeah,
fights and just that's how you learned how to live life, on a
yeah.
basketball court. You learned how
Abs-
to barter, you learned how to work with each other, that you learned how to grow up and be mature and suck
Yeah,
it
and
up and tough it
I
up,
think,
or if you didn't tough it up, you went walking back down to the fourth court.
yeah, that's for sure. I mean, you learn that pretty quickly. You win or you sit.
That's it.
That'll teach you more than any coach can ever teach you.
But you learned life's lessons too.
Yeah,
You learn that's what I think is the biggest thing we learned there was life's lessons.
yeah,
Really.
yeah,
You
yeah,
work hard, you can achieve something. You and I, the lights would go out and we'd still be playing one on one. And then we get in your old Pontiac and go down. And I never had any money, but you'd always buy me a root beer down at the White Diamond. Those ice mugged root beers.
yeah.
I'll never forget that.
10 cents. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, they were good for sure. Yeah, well, no, there's no. Yeah, Gumbert was a game changer for us and for all the guys, Union County and beyond. It was a great
And it
place.
happened to be right in our town. What are the odds
We
of
were
that?
very lucky,
What are the odds of that? The greatest place to play in
very
all of
lucky.
Union and Essex County was right in Westfield.
I think we gotta thank, like, Roger Kindle and Dave Wall, all those guys who probably told other people you got to come to
Oh
Gumbert.
yeah, yeah.
They got it started, and
Eddie Grizel from
oh
Springfield
yeah,
and his older brother. Those guys were
yeah,
great. Guys from Colonia, Clark, everywhere.
Richie
Ed Melly.
Schlaba, Andy Blavas, so many of them.
You and I were like, what the heck? How are we playing with these guys? These guys are like studs. And then we started playing with them. And then Jimmy Burke, I'll never forget the first time I stole the ball from Jimmy Burke.
Yeah,
He came down, pop, 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 and that's when after we won the state championship, and I put out my hands real low,
yeah,
and I caught him doing the behind,
yeah,
doing the crossover, and I stole it and went down for a layup. He couldn't stop me, and I said, "I'll never forget it." When I
yeah,
stole the ball from him and went down for a layup, I said, I knew I turned a corner. There
yeah.
was something
Oh
there that
yeah, he was.
was achieved. I got him. And
Yeah, absolutely. He was the best at that time, and he was so low to the ground. Even you had to really work to keep him in
yeah,
front of you. Yeah, but it was no, it was a proving ground for sure.
yes, it was. Yes, it was.
But it's not there anymore. It's too bad. But at least we captured a glimpse of the way it used to be in the book. So
You did, and and for that I thank you. And it was again to all those names and all those memories of Gumpert, not just in our season too, but the Gumpert thing that made us
yeah,
and all the players was special. That's why so many people just read it and just got a great feeling from it, and the YBA and Westfield sports and the whole thing.
mhm, yeah. Yeah, it was the whole scene. It was we were lucky those things were there. It gave us a chance, and then Horn came along. It was like a perfect storm for us. It just
Exactly.
things came together that one year, so we were blessed.